Yes, guys. Hello and welcome back to another Spurs-related YouTube video and podcast. I hope everyone's doing very well. It's Friday. Happy weekend to you all. Today, it's another transfers update, quick fire roundup of the day's news, and it has been a busy one. There is 5 or 6 different pieces of news to bring you today, which we will run through as quickly as possible and precisely as possible, of course, as more importantly. I am joined alongside Andre of SpursRelated all the way from Canada. How are you doing, mate?
I'm very excited to talk about what's going on. I'm very surprised how much news is coming out every day. It's actually crazy.
It's crazy. It's going to be a busy window. As we know, we're expecting a full rebuild under Ange Postecoglou. And as per a lot of sources, Alistair Gold saying we can expect 7, 8 players to come out of this team. And we've seen 1 or 2 come out in the last couple of days, haven't we, Andre?
Yeah. I mean, check out last episode. We had 5 new things going on. More twists and turns today.
Exactly. Let's not waste any time, Andre. Like we said, guys, really appreciating the support at the moment. The channel is growing day by day. We really do appreciate it. If you could do 2 things for us that really help the channel is smash a like, a thumbs up. Can we get to 50 this episode? And of course, subscribe if you are new. I know a lot of you watch on Instagram. If you can come over to YouTube and sub to the channel and even give us a comment saying you've come over, it would mean the world and we will reply to your comments. So thank you very much for all the support. And let's get into things, Andre.
Perfect. So the first big piece of news that just came out, and there's been an agreement reached for Kulusevski. It's like, I mean, we knew that this was going to happen. So thank God for that. And like we had discussed, about a $5 million discount, more or less. So we're reaching somewhere between 30 and 35 million.
Euros,
as opposed to
euros, just to clarify.
Euros, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so used to just saying dollars over here in Canada.
I just wanted to say that just in case people are thinking, what? Dollars? Yeah.
Yeah, so euros, 30 million euros, a nice 5 million euro discount, which, you know, we'll see where we will apply those 5 millions to. But yeah, and it seems like it'll be a deal up until 2027. Very excited. I know that maybe some of you might not be as excited because of the season that he put out now, but I do think that there is that sort of golden performance that he put at the beginning when we first brought him in. I think that is something he can get back to.
100%. Buzzing that this is over the line. Buzzing that Levy's little financial tactics have paid off this time, because Juventus aren't in the best financial situation at the moment, along with a lot of Italian clubs like Inter Milan. Juventus obviously have taken a hit through not getting Europe because of the points deduction, the second points deduction of the season. And I know Kulusevski wasn't in their plans originally in 2022. And now, of course, he's still not in their plans, and it's an easy sale for them. So Levy found that time, found that sort of move, and it's worked. 5 million euros off, brings it to 26 million pounds, which is, for Dejan Kulusevski, he's still only 22. People forget that. I think it's a fantastic addition to our squad on a permanent. And I think we would have been silly to get rid of him based on, you know, the fact he didn't have quite as good a season this season. But, you know, we know he's a fantastic player. We know he's got a lot of time to improve as well. I think we've done the right thing here. 26 million pounds for me, it's a steal.
Yeah, and again, it seems very much so that it just, as long as we have pacey players around him, we're fine, because he fills in that role of just being there at the right place in order to create more options, right? You've seen the countless of times when Son has made a run when before we had Kulusevski and no one was there, because Kane usually tracked back to give him those passes. But then when he came in, we got so many more goals, because when Son was being blocked by a defender and the goalkeeper, Kulusevski was just there waiting for the ball. So definitely very excited to see what Postecoglou does with him.
Exactly, yeah. Spot on. Let's move on. Welcome back, Decky. I say welcome back. He's never left, but welcome to Tottenham permanently.
Definitely.
The ginger from Sweden, absolute proper player. And yeah, let's move on.
Perfect. So the next big thing is that Sanchez has announced his plans to leave Tottenham. You know what? See you later. I'm buzzing. I have long been asking for Sanchez to head out. In all seriousness, no, like, he's given what he can to this club. As a fan, I have never actually been that much of a fan about like for Sanchez, to be honest, ever since the way that he made mistakes during the Juventus run years ago, and then when they brought him on, and then Sanchez scored an own goal and allowed West Ham to come back 3-3, and just crumbling all the time when there's real pressure in a game. So to me, I've been done with this player, and I feel bad for him because, sometimes you just have to realize that maybe you're just out of your depth. So wherever he does go, I hope he does well and is successful. But at least for Tottenham's sake, I'm glad with this news.
Do I feel sorry for this player? No, I don't. He's been chilling on about 80,000 Great British pounds per week. Am I sad it didn't work out? Not sad, it's a shame. But at the end of the day, this just goes with everything else above, that this player should have gone 2-3 seasons ago when we know he wasn't good enough, when we knew he wasn't going to develop into the player we thought we'd bought him from Ajax in 2018, I believe it was. I cannot for the life of me understand why some of these players exist still in this club. And I'm not going to get on a heated rant now, but thank goodness this is the start of hopefully a new era at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, where Davinson Sanchez and the likes of the utter dead wood move on. Thanks, Davinson, but no thanks. It's time to go. Fantastic news this morning I woke up to. I thought I was dreaming that we're actually getting rid of some dead wood finally, Andre.
Oh, for sure. And I think it really is just a wake-up call that I think they've probably had a meeting and realized, as we have been saying for weeks now, you just have to you have to cut your losses on this. You're not going to make any money for these players. Just get rid of them. All they're doing at this point is just eating away at the budget when you can bring other players. So it's about time.
Yep.
So see you later, Sanchez. Good luck in your next and future endeavors. Let's move on.
Yeah, fair enough. Good luck.
Perfect. So the next big piece of news is that it looks like Spurs will be booking another meeting with Barcelona in the coming days to speak about Lenglet. Again, yesterday the news broke out that the loan move had ended. He went back to Barcelona. I am not a big fan of this guy, but you are. So please tell me, what do you think of this?
I'm not a big fan of this guy. I think reports were saying last week. No, I thought it was over. I thought last night when Spurs announced that he wasn't going to stay at the club, that was it. I thought we'd drawn a line in Danjuma and Lenglet's Tottenham career. However, to reports today suggest we are going to be in a meeting with him, like you said. And I think Barcelona need to get players off their books. I know Lenglet is a big chunk of their wage budget, and they'd love to get him off their books. I think he'd have to take a cut at Spurs. But I think also the main thing is, just to add, I'm not a massive fan of Lenglet, but I'm a fan that he could be a backup with a good amount of experience. At the moment, our backups consist of Ben Davies, Japhet Tanganga. Clement Lenglet is an upgrade on them. Is he a perfect starting centre-back? No. But is he a squad player that could add value and depth to our squad? Absolutely. And that is why €6 million fee would actually be a pretty good deal for this guy.
All right, fair enough. You know what? Maybe I overhyped what you meant to say.
I'm not a massive fan, but I think it's a fan on that basis.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? I think if you look at our back line at how it is now, and then we say, the weakest defender we have is Lenglet, that's a step up. So fine. So we'll see what happens here. But definitely, I think you mentioned a few episodes ago, if this is all we get, then obviously not a good thing.
Of course. And guys, let us know in the comments below, do you want Clement Lenglet returning to Spurs, or would you rather have someone else? Do let us know in the comments below.
Perfect. So let's move on. While we're talking about Barcelona, it looks like they are actually interested in Lo Celso. It looks like Xavi is very, very keen on possibly getting Lo Celso from Tottenham, which finally, it looks like we might be getting him off our books. All we've been really being able to do with him and Ndombele is loan them out and then potential of signing, and it never happens. So this might be the time. And who knows, maybe with the whole Lenglet deal, if it looks like, that relationship might be growing between Tottenham and Barcelona because of this Lenglet deal. Maybe they'll also be able to talk about Lo Celso, and then he'll be on his way out. I know that I was a sort of an advocate to possibly giving him another chance, but if we get some good money for him, it is what it is.
Oh, 100%. I'd love Barcelona to take this guy off us. It's almost like Barcelona are stitching themselves up almost. But that being said, he did do well at Villarreal, especially on his first stint with them. I believe he wasn't quite as good this stint. But listen, there is a player in him. But as we've discussed many times, let's clear the dead wood. We know he doesn't work at Tottenham under several different managers. Let's get some money back for him. And now let's look to the future and get players that will suit Ange's system perfectly. Lo Celso was never going to be someone that presses like mad. He was never going to be someone that can fit into that system where he can push forwards. And yes, there is a player in him. And yes, I do believe he is a pretty decent. I think he would be a decent 10. But I just think it's time to get rid of him, make room in the squad, clear some of the wages, and get someone like James Maddison, which would be a hell of an upgrade in a similar type of position.
Oh, no, totally agree. Not to mention that at the end of the day, it is about fitting into a system. Sometimes it is about fitting into a league. And I just think that the Premier League maybe just didn't work out for him. So best of luck in your future endeavors as well, Lo Celso, if it is that you end up heading out. So we'll see. We'll keep track. More to follow on that story. But
Ciao.
the next big
Adios.
thing is adios, exactly. But the next big thing is that it looks like clubs' interests in Kane are starting to dwindle, mainly because, of course, as we had mentioned in previous episodes, the Mbappe saga continues. Real Madrid might be looking to get him because PSG do not and will not let him go for free. And as much as Mbappe is sitting there saying, that I never said I want to leave, I mean, what club would let such a huge value player leave for free? So that's a thing. So that's Real Madrid gone. And then on Manchester United's this whole thing with the ownership and what's going to happen there, nothing's really been sort of concrete on it. So at the moment, at least, Manchester United is like, yeah, we're also probably pulling out from this. We're not going to spend over 100 million on Harry Kane. So it looks like he might be staying. And then whether or not the project that we build in this year is tempting and successful, Kane might leave on a free next year. So we'll have to see. But it looks like at the moment he might be staying.
Yeah, spot on. I actually think that there'll be one more twist in this. Actually, not even one more twist, many more twists. But I think you're right. I think he's probably more likely to stay this summer. But will he go on a free next year? I think we'll tempt him to a new contract. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I would just enjoy Harry Kane for one more year at Tottenham. Not that he deserves to be put through that, because it's an absolute chore and it's an absolute, exercise to be at Tottenham, like mentally as well. So I feel sorry for him as well. But what a legend. But if Real Madrid were to not be able to get Mbappe, I'm sure that would spark again. I'm sure if Man United looks like their financial takeover will happen, I think that they'll want one marquee signing, and I think they'll probably come in for him at the end of the window. I've said that on another video, but I think you're right. I think the more likely situation, as per Fabrizio Romano today, is he will stay at Tottenham, but who knows? There's lots of twists in this transfer window, right?
Exactly. And Fabrizio's always saying, right, things could always change. There's been hijacks, last minute decisions. Maybe Harry Kane's tail ends up switching right at the last second in the summer. So we'll see. But he has kept quiet. I haven't really seen much buzz going around from him saying that he wants to go, or, oh, I don't know, I'm just focusing on preseason or something like that. But we'll see what happens. I personally would love it if he retired in a Tottenham jersey and we had some trophies to show for it. So I'm hopeful that the Postecoglou project actually, is successful. So we'll see what happens as the summer goes. But Speaking of preseason, let's talk about Postecoglou, because he highlighted the preseason and he's saying that it is, quote unquote, vital to how the season is going to go. Do you agree with that?
Preseason is always a weird one because, like, I remember Man United had a very good preseason last year, and they didn't really do incredible in the league. Yes, they improved under Eric Ten Hag, but preseason is like it's a good understanding for a new manager to see where his players are at, both physically and fitness wise, and also ability wise. But does the results have a big implication on how they're going to start the Premier League? I don't think so, unless they have an absolute stinker and it's apparent our team can't play together. Last season I think we started very well, and our preseason was very average. I believe we played Roma. I think we scraped a win over Rangers. And off the top of my head, was it 0-0 against Roma? Or no, we lost 1-0, I think. So it's like, it doesn't really mean a lot, but I understand what Postecoglou's saying. It's a good chance for him to assess where the players are at physically, and maybe plan for his ideal 11 coming into the season. The only thing that's annoying is I know how Tottenham's business works, and we'll sign players at the end of August when the season is already 2 or 3 games in. So actually, he probably won't be playing with his ideal 11 until September.
Yeah, that is a little concerning, especially because if you're putting so much effort into making sure the players understand that if you want to play a lot this season, then show me what you can do in the preseason. But then we bring in players at the last minute. Then what? You just bump down the players who gave you a lot of, they showed you a lot in the preseason. That can be very demoralizing.
He also said, also we get to spend a lot of time together, which I think is a good thing because as much as anything else, we get to know each other as people. So it's vital to our season ahead. That quote on "we get to know each other as people" that just says how much of a man manager he is and how much he sort of values the personal side of the player as well as the sort of the footballing side of the player. And I think he'll get to know the players over preseason, how their mindset works for coming up to a professional season, and are some of the boys still on holiday mode. It'll be an interesting way of him assessing the squad in that sense as well.
Yeah, definitely excited. I'll be doing my own assessment as we add more players, as players leave. And always hoping the best for Tottenham, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and if you are still watching the video, it'd be interesting to know if you are still watching the video 18 minutes in and you do watch these whole updates. Put a little comment in just saying pre-season, just so we can see who's watching. And also, the other thing I was going to say was we did a couple of pre-season watch-alongs last season on the channel. Let us know in the comments if you want to watch the pre-season watch-alongs that we may do if we get enough interest. So let us know. I believe we were playing West Ham at one point, and we've got a couple of other games. I think Roma again, actually. So yeah, let us know if you want us to do the watch-alongs again. Andre, I believe that is the roundup complete.
Yep, that's the roundup. But again, crazy that in about 24 hours we had that much to talk about.
Exactly that. And very, very quickly, Mikey Moore, it was just announced before we started the video, the 15-year-old academy player. I thought he was like 17. He's 15, born in 2007, and he had a lot of interest from European clubs because he's highly regarded as a big talent coming forwards. Apparently we're leading the race to keep him staying at Spurs, and an agreement will be signed soon. So that is also good news for the future and goes with the philosophy of the academy and Ange. So great news on that one. I just thought I'd cover that one at the end. Andre, fantastic roundup as always, guys. We got it done in 20 minutes. If you did enjoy the video, smash the thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, helps the channel out massively, and we appreciate all the support from Instagram. If you can come over to YouTube, amazing. And as always, guys, new videos coming every single day. Come on, you Spurs!